Yo! Welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover breaking news, culture, manic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Boy, oh boy, do the Bitcoin incentives stay winning. The better flag theory is starting to play out in real time. This is something that we take pride in. We've been saying that China has been using Hong Kong to play both sides. That was one of I wouldn't say predictions, but something that we started noticing as Hong Kong came out to take advantage of the regulatory hostility here in the United States. And they've been coming out and basically saying, hey, shitcoin exchanges, come to Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is, make no mistake, it might be one country, two systems, right? But Hong Kong is still under the control of the CCP. They can't do anything without Beijing's approval. And there's an article that just came out by Politico, the publication, the magazine, and they confirmed the theory that we've been making the case for really the last couple of months or so. Once again, Opti, it looks like we're onto something. And we also are going to cover another article, if we have the time, by the Financial Times. But I like Opti's name for it, the Fiat Times. And there's an opinion piece, and there's a reason it's called the Fiat Times. And there's an opinion piece making the case once again for the digital euro. When they mean digital euro, what they really mean is a central bank digital currency. So we're going to go down, explore all those topics today. I'm really looking forward to today's show. But let me bring up my legendary co-host, always optimistic, has this super, super fast internet speed these days. Opti, what's good, bro?
I'm doing wonderful. I slept well last night. I had a few cups of coffee this morning. The sun is shining. Everything is great, and I'm getting trolled in the chat. So shouts out to Opti the Oathbreaker, Sleep Maxi in here. He's mad that I went to bed early and I forgot to do BK last night. Completely forgot. I apologize. We'll be back next week. But man, Nico, it's very interesting when you follow the news so closely that you can start to see where things are going. But we'll save that for the news because I'm excited for our guest today. We got the one and only Young Gucci T, aka Tommy from Bitcoin Mag, on today's show. Absolute legend. Love this guy. Good guy in person. We had a great time at the conference trolling each other live. And I'm excited to talk about Bitcoin art today. And it might get contentious. He is kind of, we'll leave that one for later. Let's not trigger everyone yet. How you doing this morning, Tommy?
Dudes, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. It's been a while watching your show, actually, on oh shit, there we are right now. We're back there. They're watching us right now.
Awesome. Why don't you tell everybody where you're recording from right now?
Yeah, this is the Bitcoin Magazine warehouse with the Bitcoin Magazine art gallery back there in the front of the warehouse. This is basically where all the magic happens. All the magazines get packaged and shipped and sent to all y'all plebs that subscribe to Bitcoin Magazine, and we store the art that we handle here from the conferences. And I am fortunate enough to have a little studio area back here where I'm doing this from in the back of the warehouse. So yeah, you get a little backstage access here.
I see my boy in the background, bro. I just saw him walk by.
Oh, there he is. Look at that. The Viking.
The Viking himself.
Oh man. All right, awesome. Well, it's going to be a great show, ladies and gentlemen. We have a ton to cover today. We might be running a little bit long, but hey, the shows have been running a little bit long lately.
They're pretty long lately.
And I like it, man. I like this 110, 115, type of format. It looks like you guys have been liking it as well, so we might stick to that time as well. Our boy Nick Can't Mind in the chat.
We got the whole Bitcoin Mag team here today. Let's go.
Our brothers in arms. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the numbers. Let's do this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, guys, I also want to tell you about speaking of Bitcoin Mag, I want to tell you about the largest Bitcoin conference on planet Earth, Bitcoin 2024. It's not going to be in Miami this year. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. It's July 25th through the 27th, 2024. The year of the halving, Bitcoin 2024, is going to be in Nashville. You want to take advantage of the early bird ticket specials, and it looks like a lot of you guys have been. For a GA ticket, it is $299. For an industry pass ticket, I highly recommend that one if you're trying to get a job in the space. It's $749. And if you're a whale pass is going for $4,499, and you can get an even bigger discount using the promo code SIMPLY to get a 10% discount on top of the early bird ticket specials, anyway, on top of the early bird tickets. Anyways, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 30,630 sats per dollar, 3,265. Block height 796,427. Reachable Bitcoin nodes 17,096. Blocks to halving 43,573. Halving estimate April 21st, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 5,450 Bitcoin. Capacity value $166 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation 1.75%. And the market capitalization is $594 billion. That's a billion with a B. Anyways, but in the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin is still a baby. Anyways, I saw this video coming out earlier today, and this is Nigel Farage. And Nigel Farage was part of the Brexit movement. He's not necessarily liked by the cantillionaire class and their equivalent of the Bitcoin conference, what I call the World Economic Forum, the cantillionaire conference. And he's a fan of Bitcoin. He's actually written an article for Bitcoin Magazine called "Bitcoin is Ultimate Freedom." And I'm going to read you a quote from that article. It says, "They cannot tell me what I can and cannot do with Bitcoin. And in that sense, it is the ultimate freedom. It is the ultimate liberty." And it just came out this morning, and maybe it's appropriate, right? Here, it is a long video, so maybe I won't have enough time to play it, but I think this tweet perfectly summarizes it. And he goes on to say, "The establishment are trying to force me out of the UK by closing my bank accounts. I have been given no explanation or recourse as to why this is happening to me. This is serious political persecution at the highest level of our system. If they can do it to me, they can do it to you too." And Bitcoin Mag has been doing an incredible job, not only covering this exact event happening in Canada with the Canadian truckers protest. I think you guys released a special magazine on that as well. And, this is what Bitcoin is made for. Bitcoin is made for political dissidents. It's not a coincidence that WikiLeaks and Julian Assange were one of the first institutions that accepted Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is freedom money. It's peer-to-peer. It's censorship resistance. This is what Bitcoin is made for. And I think that as long as you keep outsourcing the personal responsibility to another human being, a banking institution, perhaps, I think that this is going to keep happening. It's very easy for the government to co-opt a handful of banks in the US. Those handful of banks keep consolidating. The smaller banks keep consolidating into the bigger and bigger banks. I think there's like 6 or 7 really big banks in the US, and that makes it very easy for government to just, knock on a door and say, "Hey, what's going on there?" They have these compliance departments that are kind of like in this black room behind the banks. No one knows what's really going on over there. So yeah, this is what Bitcoin is made for. And I think this Nigel case is a good, representation of that. Anyways, I want to read you a tweet by Beautyon. Beautyon, for anyone that doesn't know, is the founder of one of my favorite Bitcoin companies, Azteco. Azteco allows you to stack KYC-free sats, and he had some thoughts on this. He goes on to say, Nigel accepts this abuse because he refuses to act like the English used to act at all. First of all, there is no, quote, right to a bank account. There are no, quote, our banks. Banks are businesses that belong to the shareholders, not the account holders or, quote, society. Second, it's 2023. Everyone who wants to access financial rails can have it through Bitcoin. All you Nigel needs to do is download Samurai Wallet, Breeze, Blue Wallet, Wallet of Satoshi, Zeus, or Phoenix. These are all Bitcoin wallets, and they can send and receive money from anyone on Earth and send it to anyone on Earth. You can borrow money from the new class of Bitcoin moneylenders. All the functions of the current banking business will be replaced and can and will be replaced. In 2023, being a victim is a choice. And I think that not only applies to Nigel Farage, it applies to every single one of you, right? And Beauty On just mentioned a couple wallets. I'm a fan of Sparrow. I'm a fan of Electrum. And there's plenty others as well. With enormous platforms, could put millions of people on the ethical Bitcoin wallets, as I've just listed, not only solving the problem of being deplatformed by banks, but cutting off the possibility of CBDCs being launched. The underlying question is, why don't any of these people act to solve problems for themselves in a resolute and British way rather than constantly whining? It's like seeing your chip fryer on fire in your kitchen and not putting a wet towel over it, and instead taking a picture of it and posting it on Twitter. Britain is a marvelous place with amazing people, but the current trend of whining rather than solving problems and the collectivist death wish and entitled cult of I'm entitled to a bank account is pitiful and very un-British. The offense is multiplied by the number of followers the whiner has. If the bank has cut off your account, go Bitcoin, don't whine about it. What happened to Nigel is not a one-off, but it could be the last straw and the end of the CBDC threat. And uniquely in Britain, he could actually do it. And Nigel, you're already halfway there. I know that you went to the Bitcoin conference in Amsterdam. Step on the freedom train. You already wrote an article about it. Bitcoin is the ultimate freedom. Here is your time to shine and embrace a Bitcoin standard, baby. Anyways, I want to get Tommy's thoughts and then we'll pass it on to Opti.
Yeah, I saw that one this morning too. It's like hard to imagine having this issue where you're just cut off from your bank account. I haven't gotten there yet. No one's trying to cut me off from my bank account. But when that does happen, I've got my farmer's market. I can get food there. I already do that. Buy Bitcoin from my local rancher, or buy beef with Bitcoin from my local rancher, all kinds of meat, everything. He's got everything. The farmer's market's got everything. And a lot of them accept Bitcoin. If they don't already accept Bitcoin, it's kind of on you to go out there and get your local people to accept Bitcoin. But yeah, just imagine having this problem in the future. I can't imagine them doing this over and over again to influential and people that can influence people, and them not moving over to Bitcoin one by one and getting us all one step closer to hyper Bitcoinization. Sorry guys, a little early here for me still, but I think he's been a Bitcoiner already. Like you said, he was at Bitcoin Amsterdam. We're gonna have another Bitcoin Amsterdam here in October. He's just one step away from saying the quiet part out loud, but I think he's kind of already saying it quietly.
100%. Opti, what's your take, brother?
Yeah, I mean, kind of to what Tommy said, the deplatforms will not stop or as long as people are a part of the system. And guys, I know we're called Simply Bitcoin, but there is a solution to this. Bitcoin fixes this. Like, it really blows my mind that people can dip their toes into Bitcoin and not fully understand exactly what Bitcoin is. And shout out to Beauty On, because I say this all the time as well in not so eloquent ways. It's like, hey, we all know what the problems are. But we have the solution, and Bitcoin is that solution. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody. Like, why do people take this type of abuse and then just go on Twitter and be like, I just got deplatformed. Like, what can I do about it? Like, these guys are, evil. And it's like, look, you can complain all you want, but until you take your wealth and put it into Bitcoin, until you opt into Bitcoin, you are basically allowing this abuse to happen over you and your finances. Like, I don't know about you, but it's becoming very obvious that they have weaponized money. And if you keep your money in a bank, well, we already know what's going to happen. So opt into Bitcoin, opt into the freedom money that cannot be confiscated if you self-custody it correctly. And especially if you are one of these people that has a high profile and is not saying what the establishment wants you to do, you'd think you'd have a lot more wealth in Bitcoin in the first place, or like Wine saying in the chat, like, wait, like, I don't want to talk shit. You have money in a bank? Like, what kind of lunatic still has money in a bank? Like, I don't know about you, but I have no money in a bank. I am my own bank. And maybe this is just because we're so far down the rabbit hole. But again, guys, we have the tools for this. We have the freedom tools. It's called Bitcoin. Do not leave more money in a bank than you're willing to lose, because we know that they will not only gamble with your money, but they will take it for any reason. I don't know about you, but I don't like people having that type of control over my money. But hey, maybe I'm an extremist. But hey, we have the tools today. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin fixes this.
100%. Bitcoin absolutely 1,000,000% fixes this. This is what Bitcoin was built for. And I think Beauty On perfectly summarized that. You know, it's enough. It's stop whining. And this is why we focus so much on, it is not left versus right. It is not blue versus red. It is not Democrat versus Republican. It is the party of orange, which is the party of Bitcoin, peace, prosperity. I already said prosperity, but I'm going to say it again: prosperity. And the party of the party of green, which is the party of tyranny, nihilism, poverty, and that is the party of central bank digital currencies and slavery. Right. So you, as an individual, take agency over your life, over your wealth, and choose, what side you want to be on. I always say this, and I'm not hyperbolic when I say it. The future ahead of us is a future of Bitcoin or slavery. There is going to be no in between as governments continue to try to get rid of cash, as governments continue to try to implement and push down the throats of unsuspecting citizens, central bank digital currencies. We got to wake enough people up, and we got to get them on the party of orange. Anyways, everybody, let's move on to the news. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's do it.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
All right, guys, I also want to tell you about the Orange Pill app. They are building the social layer for Bitcoin. As crazy as this sounds, without the people, Bitcoin is just ones and zeros. Bitcoin is the people. Bitcoin is you. It's me. It's Opti. It's Satoshi. It's Tommy. Download the Orange Pill app for iOS or Android. Connect with other Bitcoiners in real life today. Find other Bitcoiners that live near you, and you can even go into the app totally anon and search for other Bitcoiners by common interest. Orange Pill app is also the world's biggest repository for Bitcoin-only events. If you want to meet other Bitcoiners in real life, this is the app for you. Sign up through the App Store, and you can even pay in sats. And Opti and I really appreciate all the love and support that we're getting. Go to theorangepillapp.com, download the Orange Pill app today, and connect with other Bitcoiners in real life. Anyways, guys, no more delay. Let's jump straight into news. We got plenty to talk about today. So first, let's kind of take a trip down memory lane. And let's see, China's relationship, the CCP's relationship. The CCP, what they were the first to jump on the central bank digital currency trend. It makes sense because it is a collectivist country. And obviously, we all know that to be specific, okay, so, there's plenty of types of collectivism, but specifically the CCP is communism. And we all know what the fifth tenet of the Communist Manifesto is. It is the necessity for central banking, right? They need that. And they need that in order to control the populace. So a central bank digital currency is a match made in heaven. It makes perfect sense for them to implement it. But at the same time, you know, what I was making the call is that the Bitcoin's incentives are irresistible. Alex Gladstein wrote an amazing article. I think it was published on Bitcoin Magazine, right? Which is Bitcoin is the Trojan horse for freedom. And in that article, he made the case that Bitcoin is inextricably linked. Wow, that word is hard to pronounce. With freedom. So, and you can't separate NGU technology with FGU technology. Freedom go up. So, you know, but they can't resist this. They can't resist the number go up. They want to be a part of it. So they're taking advantage of their two jurisdictions. But before we get to that, this is the Bitcoin hash rate. The Bitcoin hash rate is in blue. It's continuing to make all-time highs, which is absolutely awesome. But this is May of 2021, in the middle of the last bull market, and the CCP banned Bitcoin miners within their borders. The Bitcoin hash rate dropped, you know, by literally 50%, and it took down the price with it. I made the case that the CCP attacked the Bitcoin mining price in the last halving as a way to slow down adoption. But the thing is that they can only pull that trigger once, because what the unintended consequence of that is that the vast majority of the hash rate migrated outside of China and went to states like Texas, which is very pro Bitcoin. They just passed a pro Bitcoin bill, and other, you know, jurisdictions around the world which are more pro Bitcoin. Bitcoin miners are like water. They're going to flow to where they're treated best. They're going to go to where it makes the most economical sense for them to set up shop, right? And Opti and I have been making the case when we started hearing about Hong Kong, because it looks like China's doing a 180. They realize that, okay, we can't have the mainland being able to use Bitcoin, right? Because, you know, that'll allow them to opt out of central bank digital currencies. But at the same time, they're seeing the writing on the wall, and they say, "Holy cow! This is an economic opportunity that we don't want to miss," right? And this is a case that I've been making on Simply Sessions, and I've been making on Simply Bitcoin for the last month or two, because it was obvious. And finally, I think that was confirmed by this article from Politico. It goes on to say, as the United States, the world's largest financial power, continues to mull its approach to crypto regulation, with the House Financial Services Committee expected to consider a bill next month, financial centers in places including London, Dubai, Singapore have sought to set themselves up as alternative crypto hubs. And this is actually a warning that Jack Mallers gave when he did his keynote speech at the Bitcoin Policy Summit, which was hosted by the Bitcoin Policy Institute. Shout out to David Zell and co. And he warned the, you know, and there were senators in that audience of that keynote. And he warned them and said, listen, do you want Bitcoin miners to be paying, do you want Bitcoin companies to be paying taxes in Texas, or do you want Bitcoin miners to be paying taxes in Dubai? And that wasn't all talk. At the Bitcoin conference in 2023, he said, listen, we're going to move our headquarters to El Salvador. And this kind of coincides with the theory from the sovereign individual, as information technologies are going to empower individuals to not only seek their own information, but also go to countries of which treat them better. And Bitcoin gives you the power to not only vote with your wallet, but it also gives you the power to vote with your feet, because you could take self-custody. If you're in a pickle, you can memorize 12 words, you can cross a border, and you could take your wealth with you. You could not do that effectively and efficiently before Bitcoin. There's only so much gold you could put on your person. Anyways, it goes on to say, but thanks to Hong Kong, China is taking two approaches to crypto at once. On the mainland, Beijing has banned global crypto networks while developing and promoting more versions of next-generation monetary technology that provided greater control of the Chinese Communist Party government. But through its special administration region in Hong Kong, Beijing has also been able to carve out a niche in the free-wheeling global markets for digital assets that would compete with other free market financial hubs. Despite being denominated in dollars, the world's most popular stablecoin, Tether, is owned by a Hong Kong-based company. Earlier this month, the Bank of China, a majority state-owned firm headquartered in Beijing, issued $28 million of debt on Ethereum through its Hong Kong-based investment arm. The move allows the government to take advantage of open blockchain networks for its own purposes without giving up its control over the financial activity of average citizens. Also this month, the Financial Times, or like we like to call it, the Fiat Times, reported that regulators in Hong Kong are pressuring large banks in the region to provide banking services to crypto exchanges, inverting a dynamic in the US where banks are reluctant to take on crypto clients because of the industry's unsettled legal status. And this morning, Hong Kong-based independent journalist Colin Wu reported that the region's largest bank, HSBC, has begun offering clients access to Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Representatives of the bank did not immediately respond to requests for comment. And in effect, the existence of Hong Kong allows the Chinese Communist Party to exert internal financial controls on the mainland while impeding capital flight to bet on the potential of global crypto networks to disrupt money and finance. Inside China, Beijing will be able to keep the world's biggest population and second largest economy running on financial networks its design and controls without giving up its ambitions to make China a player in the more unruly crypto networks used elsewhere. Quote, they still see the value of this thing. You can't do it in a country where capital control is tightly controlled. But it goes on to say that they're using Hong Kong kind of as this test bed. So they're taking advantage of the one country, two systems. And Opti, to give us credit, we called this, brother. We hit the nail on the head. We've been saying, look, they're playing two sides. And I think that Politico article really confirmed, our suspicions, right? So again, you cannot resist Bitcoin's incentives. They're irresistible, even to one of the most totalitarian governments in the world that wants to control their populace through CBDCs. Now, it will be a disaster for the United States to keep going in the route that it's going. The United States should revert back to its roots of individualism, of freedom, and go back and, remember the lessons of the past, right? Don't go down the central bank digital currency path. And then worse, if you choose to go down that route and the current administration continues this hostility, you literally might scare away some Bitcoin businesses into the hands of your enemy, which is the CCP. They have literally come out. They want to be the global dominant player by 2050. It's in their plans. Right, so I think that the current government is playing with fire here with their hostile regulation. Now, look, if you want to push the shitcoin companies overseas, that's fine. But look, I'm telling you now, I think some Bitcoin companies are going to inevitably be caught in the crossfire, and I think some Bitcoin companies already said enough is enough and have decided to jump ship like Strike. So, anyways, very interesting developments. Opti, I want to get your take, and then we'll move on to Tommy.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting to see the game theory and better flag theory start to play out in real time, or the sovereign individual thesis happening in real time. I know a lot of us Bitcoiners get impatient and we're like, man, things aren't happening fast enough. But I swear every other week or every other couple of days, there's something new going on. And to the very end of your point there, I find it fascinating that China is seeing the debacle of their past and the current debacle of the U.S. political stance and starting to bend a knee to Bitcoin. Profit makes the world go round. And someone in the chat said maybe the China ban was a psyop against the Western world so that they can do the playbook that we always talk about. FUD Bitcoin, stack your bags, and then start to endorse Bitcoin and rocket ship. Get on board. But it's very interesting that the CCP is looking a lot more like the free market maxis than the U.S., which is absolutely terrifying. When you're the biggest superpower in the world, you have to try to maintain your control. And it seems like that's where our politicians are right now. Personally, I'm not moving to China, but it's going to be interesting to see if Bitcoin companies do go to Hong Kong or not. And they are doing their best to seduce I think I saw Gemini and Coinbase talking about this as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Bitcoin companies do move to Hong Kong. I guess this is just something that we will have to keep an eye on. But, Nico, to one of your points, I mean, we said this a while ago. How come we got to go to the Politico for us to know that we're right, bro? Like we're still leaning on the corporate press over here. We've been right. Let's go.
Yeah, man. If you want tomorrow's Bitcoin news today, tune into Simply Bitcoin.
That's good marketing.
No, we can't use it though, 'cause it's not ours. Anyways, Tommy, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, that's right. Also, you got to tune into Bitcoin Magazine, though, because if you've been listening to Nolan Bowerly or any of our podcasts, really, you probably were on the front edge of, or the front lines of this one, and you've seen this coming. I mean, basically, as we adopt Bitcoin, we all know it's inevitable. So hyper Bitcoinization is coming. When moon, who knows? Nobody knows. It's happening now, though. It's already started. So it's basically state by state, which state's going to have which attitude towards Bitcoin. Is it going to grok Bitcoin in the way that it wants its citizens to have the freedom to use Bitcoin, the way they're supposed to, holding their own keys? Oh, and by the way, exchanges are banks. Don't trust the exchanges, obviously. I think you should already know this. Get your shit off the exchanges. If you follow David Bailey, the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, you should not have any sats on any exchanges right now. That's kind of I think your audience doesn't need to hear that. But I mean, China is definitely going to take the Bitcoin war bonds route, I would say, and basically use some kind of emergency or something to say you got to send all your Bitcoin here to the state so we can take care of you, and our CBDC will be backed by Bitcoin instead of thin air. And I think all big players in a CBDC state-run crypto landscape are going to try to have their crypto be backed by Bitcoin, because everything in the world is just a scam to get Bitcoin from you. And my scam is to make art about Bitcoin. The exchanges scams are to give you shitcoins to trade to try to accumulate more Bitcoin, but it's all a rug. So if you're gonna do shitcoining, do it ordinal style or something when you're not actually shitcoining. Although I think you alluded to this earlier, the controversial stance on that. Some people think ordinals and doing anything other than hodling your Bitcoin and just sitting on it is shitcoining. But I think I have a different take on that.
Love it. Well, we'll get into it in the culture, but I love how you jumped in on everyone is a scammer and my scam is making Bitcoin art. Oh man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So I also want to give a shout out to, I think the name of the show is called The Breakup, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Nolan show.
Every morning.
Big fan, huge fan. I think it's 8 a.m. right? It goes live.
8 a.m. Eastern, 7 for me here in Nashville.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, check out The Breakup. It drops from the Bitcoin Magazine channel, and it's an incredible show. I've catched a couple episodes. We've had Nolan on the show as well. He's a brilliant guy. Love his takes.
Great monologues.
Yeah, it's super deep into stuff. So shout out to Nolan and the whole Bitcoin Magazine crew. Shout out Chris Alamo, by the way, homie, and Nick Camp Mine and CK and
Joe Rogers.
Joe Rogers. So many. We love you guys, brothers in arms. Anyways, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into. No. Wait a second. Do we have time? We'll save the Financial Times article for tomorrow for the Friday episode. But before we get there, guys, you want to make it over the finish line with your generational wealth. And the way that you do that is by properly securing your Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases. And this is what the BitPlates Domino is designed to do. It's easy to use, it's hard to destroy, and it's made from highly corrosion resistant 316 marine grade stainless steel, and it offers the ultimate protection against extremes of temperatures. You could take advantage of the promo code simply to get 10% off any bitplates.com products. So guys, check it out. Properly secure your generational wealth. Don't lose your generational wealth because you decided to store it on paper. Store it on steel. Think long time preference, low time preference. Anyways, time for the culture, everybody. Let's do it.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, guys, I also want to give a shout out to the Pacific Bitcoin Festival. It's one of my favorite conferences of the year. It's going to be October 5th through the 6th, 2023 in Los Angeles, California. It's not going to be a conference this year. It's going to be a festival. Some of the speakers include Lynn Alden, Greg Foss, Alex Gladstein, Preston Pish, Corey Clipston, and many, many more to be announced. It's awesome. They throw the conference in an airplane hangar. It's a really good time. It's one of my favorite conferences of the year. Of course, Opti and I are going to be there, and I know some Bitcoin Magazine people are going to be there as well. So hope to see you guys in Los Angeles this year at the Pacific Bitcoin Festival. Promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a 20% discount on the tickets. Anyways, Opti, what are we talking about today, brother?
We're gonna get some spicy takes from Tommy, but I do have some of your art over here. You already mentioned it, so let's just trigger everyone up front, and then we'll get into why you do Bitcoin art, which you already talked about. But let's get your take on ordinals, Tommy. What's your thoughts on all this? Everyone in the chat's already triggered, so let's just get right into it.
I mean, my take on ordinals, like ordinals is just using Bitcoin. Like it's using Bitcoin, and it's not even using Bitcoin in that new of a way. Like I think it was Jacques Mo on stage said ordinals are retarded, basically being like, this isn't anything new. It's a dumb implementation of something that people have already argued about back in the forums back in the day when there were like 15 people arguing about things and nobody cared about Bitcoin. So like it's been hashed out. So don't worry about it anymore. Like we've decided that, Bitcoin is not for this. But I mean, Bitcoin's a permissionless technology. So if you don't like how I'm using it, but I'm using it anyways, and it's working and it's doing the thing that I expected it to do while I'm using it every day, and I'm paying the miners and, everything's going smoothly, what's the problem with that? I don't see any problem with that, and I don't know why people want to see a problem with that, but that's okay. If you don't like how someone's using Bitcoin, I think you need to take a look at maybe yourself. Like, do you understand how Bitcoin works? And like, do you understand that it doesn't matter if you like how people use Bitcoin? They can use Bitcoin however they like, really. And as soon as you start to try and censor that, for one thing, like if you don't like how someone's drug dealing using Bitcoin, or if they're, like I think I subscribe to the same views as David Bailey when he says, like, if the Taliban uses Bitcoin, there's nothing we can do to stop them. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just using Bitcoin. So and all these ones right here are counterparty tokens that you're looking at, and that's also Bitcoin. It's just a different flavor of how to put metadata into Bitcoin so that it can be read back, and you can show the art that is embedded in the op return in this case when we're talking about counterparty, but it's in the witness when you talk about ordinals. And that's just some hex data. That's just encoded files that we pay a miner to add to the next block when we send them a nice fat transaction saying, hey, I want to pay you to put this hex data in this block. So, it works. So when you have beef with it, maybe ask yourself what your beef is with Bitcoin.
Love it. Everyone in the chat triggered. I mean, like personally, I am a monetary maxi. I love Bitcoin for pure transactions, but hey, I understand it's permissionless and I can't control how other people use it. I think this will probably get priced out, but hey, bro, you're an artist. So I'm sure you have a different view on this than I do. But on that note, why Bitcoin art? And to add on that, how will Bitcoin change the game for artists like yourself?
Well, why Bitcoin art for me? I mean, I've kind of done art my whole life, but never had like a subject matter that I was truly passionate about doing all the time. I guess if I watched more Bob Ross, I might do landscapes. I do watch a lot of Bob Ross today, so maybe we'll see a pivot in my style. But No, I think I've been at Bitcoin Magazine now since 2017, which has been just the greatest crash course, being around all my colleagues here at Bitcoin Magazine, learning about Bitcoin and just being focused on Bitcoin every day. And when you're focused on Bitcoin every day, there's not much else going on up here that's like worthy of making art about. So yeah, it's just the Bitcoin art kind of flows, and you just try to get as much of it done as you can. I'm always working on a few different projects. Um, it's hard to make art that's not about Bitcoin for me, and I would just recommend, like, any artist out there who cares about Bitcoin, just figure out what that looks like for you when you're making Bitcoin art. Like, everyone's got a different style, obviously. I've had the opportunity to curate the art gallery at the Bitcoin conference a few of the past years, and just seeing all the different artists and what their Bitcoin art looks like and how it all looks different to everybody. It's just such an exciting thing to see this community kind of come up out of nowhere, and it's just going to keep growing and growing. And you don't have to do ordinals to make Bitcoin art. Like, there's all kinds of, like, just make a painting, right? And don't turn it into a token. Like, that works too. Or some artists, they make a painting and they put an open dime on the back of it and call it a totem. That's what Made X does. He's the man, but he hates ordinals. So people think we have a beef, but we don't. So it's like that kind of thing, right? Like, you don't have to make ordinals or tokens or whatever to have it be Bitcoin art. You don't even have to put the word Bitcoin on it for it to be Bitcoin art. You don't even have to make a Pepe for it to be Bitcoin art. It's just whatever you think it is to you, and that's Bitcoin art if you say so. I think it's permissionless.
Love it.
Beautiful.
Nico, before you go on, as another fellow Bitcoin propagandist, I think there's definitely a place and time for some art. And I know Nico's a huge fan of Bitcoin art. And I think that other artists should definitely dive into the idea of spreading Bitcoin, culture through art, because this is how we take over the world. This is how we saturate popular culture, is by doing what we do and spreading that, whether that is music, whether that is art, whether that is just, actually, I'm not going to say it because that might be vandalism. Anyways, Nico, do you want to jump in? Or there is some contention in the chat, Tommy. So, Nico, do you want to jump in, and then we'll get to one of these comments?
Yeah, breaking news. We just found out that Nick can't mine. Can mine. So it's just breaking news. Just wanted to tell you guys, some very reputable sources have told me that Nick can't mine. He's LARPing. He can mine. It is confirmed. It is confirmed.
And he can mint ordinals too, because
dogs. Oh shit, dogs.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but yeah, your favorite Bitcoiners are they're secretly ordinals maxis.
Okay, well we're getting spicy here.
I just look. I don't.
Let's read it. All right, we're gonna get spicy. Let's get spicy. All right. So Opti, the Oathbreaker, Sleep Maxi, Screw the Pleb said, "Hey yo, Simply Bitcoin. Can you ask him why I'm not gonna say his art needs to be on the time chain? How does this have any value?
Does it matter?
If you think my art is bad, you should see some of the other shit that's on there. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, I gotta say, all right, I'm gonna stick up for my boy Tommy. I am a proud owner of one of Tommy's pieces, Rare Pepe.
It's magic.
Sorry, Nick's in denial. We gotta pull it up. This is a Rare Pepe. There's 7 out of 8. There's 7 out of 8, and I think my stuff was put on the blockchain, right, Tommy?
Yeah, it is a ordinal / counterparty combo token. You have one of the 8 counterparty tokens and one of the 8 physical little paintings that go with it. So just an example of how you can paint 8 little one-of-one things and make 8 edition tokens and do a one-of-one ordinal inscription for the data. Somebody in the chat asked why ordinals. basically because it's like the best way to put larger files into Bitcoin, and store the data there. Like it's really that simple. It doesn't need to be an image. It can be any type of a file that you want to encode and put into the witness. Like it's just hex data, right? Like there's 3 megabytes of space to use. So I put my bad art in there.
Yeah,
and then you can do that too.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I don't really have like I come from the school of thought. I'm like, dude, like I'm a libertarian, you know, whatever you decide to do, like so be it. I don't know how to access it. I think you showed me at the conference. I'm just happy I got my physical art that I could, you know, show around and whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, you gotta do what makes you happy, brother. And like that's the whole point of Bitcoin, dude, is that, you know, it allows you to, you don't really have to ask someone else for permission. So, you know, if that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat. That's always been my attitude about this whole thing, even though I don't quite understand a lot of it. But you know, like it's censorship resistant money. I think we kind of get into like this dangerous territory when people start saying what Bitcoin can be used for and what Bitcoin can't be used for. And I think that goes against everything that Bitcoin represents. If you want to, you know, if you want to pay the fee to like, you know, mint and ordinal, whatever, it's like, okay, like that's your money. Like, who am I to tell you what to do with your money? That's my stance. Anyways, Opti, I want to get your take real quick, and then we'll move on.
My take on ordinals, I don't know, personally, it does feel like spam. I'm a monetary maxi, but hey, you know, like I understand that. Look, it's permissionless. If people want to do it, then so be it. I think on the long enough, that's what I'm saying, dude. On a long enough time frame, I think it will get priced out, and Bitcoin will revert back to what the free market wants. And I think that is a network for transactions. So, you know, who am I? I don't personally see the value, but that's what art is. It's subjective, right? So like, hey, I can say all this stuff, but I understand like I'm not going to force people to do what I believe. It's just like, hey, bro, I guess I got to pay higher fees right now until the hype comes down.
I mean, disagreeing with Bitcoiners is the best. Like it really is great to agree to disagree. And I forgot who said it first, but I guess it's one man's spam is another man's treasure. That's I guess the way to see it.
One more spicy comment here. It's my boy over here. And why store on the time chain versus like a torrent or something like BitTor or something? Like what's the use case there? Or why would you use Bitcoin time chain instead?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think everything that is the internet needs to be inscribed onto Bitcoin. Only like things that we want to be, you know, permanently immutable and there forever. Like I'm not a inscribe the world maxi. I'm just inscribe important shit. And you know, when I make a painting and I have a scan of my painting and I want to have that be, you know, secure forever in a place where I'll always be able to find it, other people are going to store it for me, like whether you like it or not. Sorry. I mean, it's a good place to store it. If you're an ordinals hater that says why not just go use a shitcoin, then like maybe stop shitting on shitcoin users and like let them do their thing over there if that's what you want them to do or whatever. But like to be a Bitcoin maxi and say you can't do this, I don't know. I digress. It's just
spicy Tommy today. I love it. Okay.
Anyways, before you get into it, guys, we are at 96 likes. 4 more likes to get us to 100 likes. Smash that like button. We're almost there. Help us get to 100 likes. That's what the YouTube algo. They love when people like your video. It helps us push the message out there. The message of the party of orange, peace, prosperity, and Bitcoin, baby. Anyways, I bought one of these.
Yeah, last thing I want to plug is my boy Tommy. If you don't like ordinals, you can get some physical art. Look how dope this is. Tommy, sorry. Getting too official. Getting too official over here. Let's plug this real quick. What's going on over here?
Opti, my P2P brother, you can call me by any name you want. Yeah, this is the Bitcoin War Bonds official print sold through Bitcoin Magazine. So it's the 256 for 256 series. That's 256 editions of the print, all signed and numbered at the bottom. And it's sold for $256 or dollars worth of Bitcoin. And yeah, I've got one right here framed. Nico, you said you've got one. Opti, we got to get you one too. But yeah, Bitcoin War Bonds started as just a painting, and it was only inscribed almost a full year later or 6 months later as a 4 megabyte inscription. So a whole block has that image in it. But no inscriptions, no tokens, no counterparties come with this guy. You just get a print. It's signed, you know, the print of the painting. And I think you got to ask yourself, like, if you like art until it's an NFT, then what the fuck is wrong with you? Or or what about that it makes the art not something that you like anymore because it's now an NFT? I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Also, what I want to say is the original piece still up at Bitcoin Park?
It is, yeah. It made its way down to Miami and back, and now it is up in its semi-permanent home for now until it is sold many years from now. Beautiful. I don't think I'm going to be selling it anytime soon.
Awesome. Very,
the
very
market
cool.
just doesn't know yet.
It hasn't been priced in.
I'm a big fan. I think I put Simply Bitcoin was there on the whiteboard, and I think the whiteboard is like across the room from the painting. The original painting is absolutely massive. Anyways, guys, if you haven't checked out Bitcoin Park, definitely recommend you guys making the pilgrimage. And also, Bitcoin Magazine headquarters are also based in Nashville, so you can kill two birds with one stone.
It's going to be right by the conference, right?
Yeah, it's going to be right by the conference.
Yeah, I am sitting like 2 miles away from the conference is about to go down. And the conference venue is much like the venue in Miami. It's going to be a very similar vibe, the big 25K person plus conference. And then, yeah, like you said, you got Bitcoin Park and the Bitcoin Magazine headquarters and the warehouse and Bitcoin Magazine art gallery all within a little triangle of each other. So when you're here in Nashville, and not to mention the conference is going to go down basically right off of Broadway in Nashville. So right where all the action is in downtown Nashville, that's where everyone's going to be at next year in July 2024. So Beautiful. Definitely get your ticket if you don't have it yet.
Beautiful. All right, everybody, no more delay. Let's jump straight into the meme review. We got a lot of memes to review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom
Racks. It's not going to be 25K per person. There's going to be like 25K people at the conference. Plus, guys, probably more.
If you want to go to the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, take a look at their early bird ticket specials. We showed it in the very, very beginning part of the show. I'll pull up the screen real quick just to give you guys a quick refresher. If you guys are interested in going for a GA, it's $299. For an industry pass, it's $749. For a will pass, it's $4,499. And you can use the promo code SIMPLY to get yourself an even bigger discount, 10% on top of the 10% less on top of these prices. So I hope to see a lot of you guys in the flesh at the Bitcoin conference in Nashville. Anyways, Opti, what type of memes do you have in store for us today?
Well, this is the meme review. This is your favorite portion of the show where you watch 52 minutes of the show so that you can get to the memes. I know how you guys work. Tweet to the bullets. Memes are the artillery. You do not have to be an actual artist like our boy Tommy here to create memes. You just have to mash together multimedia, and you are a memer. What's higher art, memes or art, being an actual artist? I don't know. We'll trigger them a little more in the chat. Anyways, this first meme, or wait. Tag me on memes on Twitter at Simply Bitcoin TV. Drop the memes in our Telegram group, and I will find them and put them on the show. This first one is by our boy RD_BTC, and he just does the hands and some Bitcoin. And he goes, hashtag Bitcoin. And we got a guy sleeping here and he goes, God, give me a reason to go to work. And we have Satoshi. Sats aren't getting any cheaper, son. This is the way. Get out of bed to stack sats. Okay, this next one's a double parter. We got at NY_HODL, and he goes, if you don't get it, I don't have time to explain to you. Sorry. And we got Matthew McConaughey here. Day one in Bitcoin. He's looking all clean shaven. And he goes, I'm going to be so rich. BTC to the moon. And then day 1,461 in Bitcoin. And this is Matthew McConaughey from, I think it's True Crimes, when he's all beat up. And he goes, fiat is slavery. Bitcoin is hope. And the Fed, I will die in this hill. And then the triple meme here, the next version is by American HODL, and it goes, day 3,157 in Bitcoin. I am a little colorblind, so this is a little hard for me. The state is merely a weapon the rich use against the poor. Bitcoiners aren't fighting the state. They're fighting a parasitic capitalist class that controls the state. Larry Fink and BlackRock are the leaders of the parasite class and are now entering the game in an effort to co-opt and control Bitcoin. The battle is on. Outcome unknown. Sheesh. That was extremely difficult for me. I could barely see those words. All right.
That was some fire ass.
This next one is by Don_T-Cell. Shouts out to Selly. And we got, what's this guy's name again? I'm blanking. Fuck if I know. I don't remember. He's an actor. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg. There we go. He goes, joining Bitcoin Twitter, and he's looking shocked, and he goes, wait, everything is a lie? And then he's even more shocked, and he goes, wait, I should only eat steak and eggs? Wait, I should get out of the city? Wait, what? I should sun my balls? What is going on? Just absolutely confused. Okay, this next one is by Bitcoin Chris, a.k.a. at Chris Knight 407. He goes, we got a picture of Sailor just pointing, and the tweet goes, take your shitcoinery over there, hashtag Bitcoin. I'm sure everyone in the chat going to be triggered right now. Okay, anyways, the next one is by our boy, the BTC therapist, and he goes, hashtag Bitcoin will dethrone the dollar. And we got this little kid playing with dominoes, and the little kid is Bitcoin, and the dominoes are falling. And we got BlackRock and Wisdom Tree and Charles Schwab and Bitwise and Valkyrie and Fidelity and Deutsche Bank and Citadel. And then finally, those little dominoes become the big dominoes, which dethrone the fiat dollar from the world. Okay, this last one. Again, I know I try to do my best to not have any nepotism in our meme review, but our boy's killing it over here, and this one popped off, so must have hit a thread with everyone. And it goes, the pleb army can't be stopped. The DCA Bitcoin army cannot be stopped. And we have Jay Powell and Gary Gensler, and Gary Gensler whispers in Jay Powell's ear, and he goes, sir, we have a problem. And Jay Powell looks and goes, what's the problem? And Gary Gensler goes, they won't stop buying fucking Bitcoin. What is going on here? Keep stacking Bitcoin. This is the way. Okay. Anyways, drop your meme review in the chat, and we will cover them live. My meme review score today, Nico, is this laptop Faraday bag.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna give it it's good. It's a good score. Good score. I'm gonna give it this rare Pepe.
Invisible rare Pepe.
Invisible rare Pepe. Number 7 of 8. Signed by Tommy. Love Simply Bitcoin right there. Oh, it's written. It's written. Boom. That's my score. Anyways, Tommy, what would you give those memes?
I gotta give the memes. Actually, the back is covered, but the original NFT. If you're my age, this is the OG Grail.
Is that a Pokemon card?
Oh yeah, that's a Charizard right there. So I give these memes this Charizard card.
Ooh, wow.
I don't know if they really deserve it, but
wait, how do you still have a Charizard card? It looks holographic.
It is. Oh, it is. How do I still have this? Because I'm a collector. Like maybe you don't still have your holographic Charizard card, but that's the OG NFT in my world, and
wow,
doesn't get any more rare than that.
Soft flex and dunked on me for not having my Charizard holographic card. I don't even think I ever got one. Wasn't as cool as you.
It's not that first edition though, so it's not like worth $1 billion.
Opti's
so.
like
shitcoiner confirmed.
It's not up to snuff. Maybe your memes aren't up to snuff.
This is a scam. This is a scam.
Wow.
They didn't have Bitcoin back then to scam people. They were scamming people for dollars. But now I think when Pokemon makes an NFT, it'll be a scam for your Bitcoin. Hopefully they make them ordinals. If they do, I'll buy that shit.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, drop your meme score in the live chat. So an Opti and I could go through them. All right.
Tommy just triggering the whole chat in here. Watch, it's about to get ruthless.
First meme score is by Max Trotter. I give the memes a box of orange and purple pills. Very, very nice. We got the next one by Rave Elevator. I score the memes Bob Ross painting some happy trees. Very, very nice. All right, next one, Opti. We got Steve Dre. Meme score 1 Bitcoin urinal. Oh man, the chat is savage. Bitcoin Moon Guy. I give the memes 1 rare sat. Very, very nice. Okay, next one. We got Hammersaw. I give those memes a Faraday hat. I don't know what you would use that for, but I like it.
It's so the aliens can't get your thoughts, bro. Come on.
I've heard about Faraday underwear now. That's interesting.
I heard about that too.
That's hardcore. That's hardcore.
Dude, keep your testosterone up.
Opti the Oathbreaker, Sleep Maxi, Screw the Plebs, a 1 hour BK episode of just the ordinal hex data of me sleeping. Elaine, as the famous lose access to the banks, people wake up to Bitcoin controllers shoot selves in foot again. Yeah, 100%. That is spot on. The P-Man Van, I give the memes Chrissy's nodes.
That was PG, bro. That was PG.
Hodl coin. I give the memes an NFT scam hurting stat fungibility. Dude, a lot of haters in the chat
shots
today.
Fired.
Jesus. J Dub the Laker 21 mil meme score. Opti's rejuvenated and replenished Mexican card. Si se puedo. Si se puede, bro. Si se puede. Pudo's back. Si se pudo. That's past tense. UTXO, my score is a shiny Blastosaurus. Oof, that's a good one. Even though Charizard was my favorite. Do you guys remember the Game Boy Pokemon games?
Dude, that was next level, bro.
Dude,
I still got one of these too, except
is it green? Lime green.
I got an emulator on my phone where you could play it on your iPhone. It's pretty cool.
Dude, Tommy, I had this same Game Boy with, I think it was Pokemon Yellow. That was my shit.
Oh, man. Okay, Anton La says, my score, immortal art on the chime chain. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, last but not least, Skip on Down Road. I give it 4 sets of slightly sunburned balls out of 5.
All right, we got a bunch more, but we'll wait.
Yeah, we can't say anymore because we ran out of time. The buzzer's automatic.
It's a buzzer.
The buzzer's just automatic. It just goes off. Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for tuning
Nico, you're getting trolled, dude. No music now or what?
I'm looking for a new one. I feel like that one got old.
Up. Don't you know? Pump it up.
I can't.
That's what we
get copyrighted. Yeah, no, but we're working on it, guys. More music is coming. It's coming. We're figuring it out on the back end. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Simply Bitcoin Live. We appreciate you. I'm the host, Nico. This is my co-host, Opti. And our guest, Tommy, one of my favorite artists in the space. Thank you so much for joining us today from the Bitcoin Magazine warehouse, where you guys are shipping all the merch from there. I think people could visit the front, right? It functions as a store as well.
That's right. Yep. Come out here to Nashville.
Awesome. So Tommy, why don't you tell everybody where they could follow you on Twitter? We popped it up for you.
It's right there. Young Gucci T, my little website right there, tommy.studio. Just hope to see you all in Nashville either next summer for the Bitcoin conference or hopefully sooner. If you make it down to Bitcoin Park, make sure you come over to the Bitcoin Magazine Art Gallery because it's just a 5-minute drive from there. So whenever you're in Nashville, Nico, last time you were here, you were back there hanging with us for a bit. Just don't be shy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was very fortunate enough to be able to record some episodes from Bitcoin Park. And from Bitcoin Magazine headquarters, from the offices as well. That was pretty awesome. So anyways, Tommy, thank you so much for joining us today, brother. Hope to see you in the flesh soon. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. If you enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. If you feel like we provided you value, consider subscribing. But the number one thing you could do to help push the peaceful Bitcoin revolution forward is share Bitcoin content. You could share Simply Bitcoin. You could share Bitcoin Magazine. You could share all the awesome other Bitcoin content creators, BTC sessions as well. So many of them. And don't share shitcoin content. It's counterproductive. Jacob says it best. Don't shitcoin. It's bad for you. Anyways, guys, if you want to stay to the after party, we are co-hosting a space with the best place to build your Bitcoin stack, swan.com. It's currently live right now on Twitter. Opti is going to be turning it into kind of like a live Q&A. You guys could jump into the stage and ask your questions as your heart desires. And we'll be holding that down until 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Peace out, y'all.
Man, let's go. Shouts out to Tommy, absolute Chad, peer-to-peer buddy over here, P2P guy. If you know, you know. We're going to, hey, wait, first and foremost, it got a little contentious on there. The spicy chat, the chat was spicy today. As you can tell, a lot of monetary maxis in the chat. Shouts out to my boys out there. But man, absolutely love Tommy and the whole crew over there at the warehouse. I got a few friends over there. Shouts out to Viking, the Viking Eric himself. Love him and the lovely misses as well. They are good friends. Always appreciate the love from friends. And of course, you already know the deal. This is a Bitcoin space by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. So come up here, add your 2 cents to the conversation, whether you guys want to talk ordinals or whether we talk about the game theory of Bitcoin, the better flag theory of Bitcoin playing out in real time. We continue to win as Bitcoiners, continue to stack sats, continue to take Bitcoin into self-custody. And also, shouts out to everyone in the chat. I'm glad that we did the culture that we did yesterday because I